Hey, this is Josh Keaton, and you are listening to the GeekCast Radio Network.
I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
Hello and welcome to an all-new generation of ToonCast. This is our 236th episode, and I am, of course, one of your hosts, TFG1Mike. Joining me once again is one of the members of the BAM crew from the Fortress of Baileytude Superman and Lois tapes. It's Alison Richards. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing much better right now at this moment than I was the last 3 days, but that could change. So, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week before this episode comes out on Saturday the 28th, it was... had a rough few days. But as of this moment, during this recording, I am slightly okay.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. Mm-hmm.
You should be able to escape for a few days and just chill.
I don't know. Those, that dun-dun and the black background and the white letters, man, those, holy crap. At least it wasn't as big as it was in, where was that from? Civil War?
Yeah.
Or Ultron? Yeah, well, whatever it was, like, oh, I'm like, wow, they're redoing that. So we are here to talk about the third episode of Marvel Studios' What If on Disney Plus, and this is what if the Avengers never happened kind of thing, and holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so first of all, let me ask you this. What if Hawkeye was never in your life? Who would you be?
Actually, I would be a Quicksilver fan, because I actually liked Quicksilver before I liked Hawkeye. And so I would just have a different Funko collection, I guess.
What is your history with the Hawkeye character?
All right, so I discovered X-Men and all through, Saturday morning cartoons. But so DC came to my life for Batman the Animated Series. Marvel came into my life for the 90s X-Men series. And so I digressed from that series to X-Men Evolution. And that's where I met Quicksilver and fell in love with his, fast-talking smartass on that show. Sorry, bleep. And so I wanted to read more comics. And from reading the comics, you go back to, his beginning times, and that pulls you to the Avengers, and he was one of, Hawkeye was one of Cap's kooky quartet, as they're called. And so I kind of I liked the idea of a superhero with no actual super powers.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just appreciate the creators taking a step back and giving you that reminder that the everyday man can also be a hero. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, Hawkeye was coming from a criminal past. So it's also a little bit of, he's a good person to look up to for people who've done, bad things, and they're looking to, make a change in their life and start being good. So he has a lot of meaning behind that. I will admit, though, that once the Nightfall books started in DC,
mm-hmm.
I fell hard for Tim Drake, and I kind of left Marvel in in the background for a long period. And it wasn't really until the movies started coming out where my roommate Bethany and we were sitting and watching Thor, and Bethany started bouncing in her seat, and I'm just kind of like, what are you excited for? And she was just like, we got a Hawkeye. And I'm like, oh my God, Hawkeye, I haven't thought of him in a while. And so I kind of like went back and started reading some of the stuff that I had missed. And oh my God, the stuff that they put him through, it was like, I took like 3 years to start reading all the way through his individuals. And then I found the Fraction Run.
Mm-hmm.
Fraction Run is what really drew me back to him. And I've really been going hard on reading all the stuff that comes out with him. Of course, you gotta kind of look for the stuff that comes out with him, because he doesn't have his own title, like a lot of the others. So whose issues he's floating in and out of.
Yeah.
Like, most recently he was in the first 6 issues of the current Black Widow run by Kelly Thompson, which was amazing. And it harks back to Matt Rosenberg's Tales of Suspense, where I really fell in love with the Natasha, Clint, and Bucky love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gone from there, and I've just I've been playing catch up since Thor came out. And I think with the maturity of being an adult reading them, I appreciate Hawkeye a lot more than I think I would have as the kid who was collecting the Quicksilver comics and the Robin comics.
Right. Yeah, Hawkeye is definitely a redemption story, and Fraction's run is amazing, although sadly, I did not always feel like that, because this is before I switched totally to digital on Comixology. I had the first 2 volumes in print, the trades. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is just Hawkeye on his day off with a dog for a pizza. Like, I was stupid back then. I was dumb in 2013. I was 33 years old and I was stupid. I'm going to go back and reread it to see if hopefully things have changed now that it's been about 8 years. Because I remember when I was pitching us doing this and doing what we're eventually going to do in the future, I was like, oh, and by the way, I did do a Matt Fraction Hawkeye episode, but I'm not sending you that one because I know you'll either come attack me or you'll run away crying, because I don't know what it was back then. I just couldn't get into the series.
Tastes change all the time. And also, story arcs is what some people are drawn to, some aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some stuff out there from like the 90s with Hawkeye that I read it once and I'm like, okay, that was a thing. So, but no, and everybody, I am a very firm believer that everybody has their own tastes and, is entitled to their own opinions. How they express their opinions, of course, obviously is a big factor there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suggest people read certain books, but if they don't like it, it's not going to break my heart. It's just not being written in a way that speaks to that individual.
Yep, absolutely. And with What If Season 1, Episode 3, holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, man. They did a huge misdirection on this one, didn't they?
They did, and honestly, They could have made this whole episode a movie.
Yeah, they could. It felt like a movie.
And it was, I was captivated the entire time. I may have stopped and was like, paused it at one specific part and started screaming.
Mm-hmm.
But I was enthralled. You just had me staring at the screen, unable to know time was passing because of the fact that I was drawn in and kept in. And that's what a good story, especially a good murder mystery story, is supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what season 1, episode 3, What If the World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes, is all about, because
there was an idea to bring together a group of
remarkable people to see if they could become something more. I know, I've heard the speech.
Then you realize what's at stake.
Which is why I'm surprised you'd want to bet the future of the Avengers Initiative on that.
Stark may be eccentric, but he's got potential.
What he's got is a hangover.
Did I ever tell you about this one time I actually recruited a Russian assassin to join my American covert ops team?
Vaguely rings a bell.
Then you should know I'm not afraid of a big swing.
Wow. I don't think it was until, because I don't think he got revealed right. He didn't get revealed right away, but it wasn't until after the Widow, when Widow was at after she got Coulson's password.
Yeah.
Why do you need my password?
I need to get into the Avengers Initiative files, but I'm locked out of the system. And wanted for murder.
I'm not telling you my password, Romanoff.
Why not?
Because I'm not.
Coulson. Clint was your friend too.
Hashtag Steve. I heart Steve. 0704.
Wow. Good one, Coulson.
What?
No, nothing. That's great. Thank you.
And she was going through that scene, and I'm like, well, it's invisible. Wait a minute. It's not invisible. It's miniaturized. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
It's one of the ant people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize who it is, and it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, and even then, you still don't really know until you knew, because being that we've placed these episodes as being these what-if worlds, we can't rely on the idea that that Janet's in the really small molecule zone, the quantum zone. We can't, think that that's there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't think about, is it Hank or is it Scott?
Yeah.
Or is it any of the other random, comic book Ant-Men that have been out there? So, because there are like at least 2 other people who've worn the suit that I know.
Yep.
It's hope! It's all about hope! It's hope! It's all about hope!
4 hours to sunup, sir.
I haven't forgotten. Hope. It's all about hope. Widow.
Once you know it was Hope, that brings it down to the 2 Van Dams and Scott.
Yep.
At that point. And then it's just all matter of the reveal.
You said Van Dams. I was like, oh, really?
It's been a long week.
I know it has. That's why we do Saturday Superhero Saturdays. And wow, we had a lot of the original cast come back, but there were also replacements. And I understand either it's a scheduling conflict or it's Mr. RDJ not feeling like he can do anything else with the character. I mean, the guy played him for a decade or more, kind of thing. So if he feels that
he pretty much built the way that a modern day Iron Man in any medium is going to be portrayed.
Yep. But we have returning. We have Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner / the Hulk. Obviously, Tom Hiddleston is Loki, because if there was anyone else, the internet would just go crazy.
Pretty much.
Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson. And then we had Michael Douglas as Hank Pym / Yellow Jacket. Replacements include Frank Grillo as Brock Rumlow.
I thought that is Brock's actor.
Jamie Alexander as Sif. Is it? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Hold on, I'll go look at the IMDb while you keep working.
Yeah. Lake Bell as Natasha. I don't know why. Well, no, I do know why. Duh, she's suing the company. Scarlett and Disney.
They would have filmed this before that happened. I think it's because she was doing Black Widow.
Could be. Yeah, he is known for playing Rumlow. Yep, that is his actor.
Yep, and he did a pretty good job trying to match the voice.
Yeah, he did. We have Stephanie Panicello as Betty Ross. We have Mike McGill as Thaddeus Ross. And we have Alexander Daniels as Carol Danvers / Captain Marvel. The voices I found were all good. They all fit what this series is doing. Because again, regardless of what's going on in real life, regardless of contracts or belief systems or whatever it is going on in actors' personal lives, the whole point of this show is an alternate universe. We know what happens in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. The whole point of all of this is,
what if?
What if different things. Now, I will say, I'm glad that before he passed, they were able to do a Star-Lord, Panther, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. I'm very happy that they were able to do that. The voices in this episode, though, I feel fit the characters.
The only one that was a little, I knew that there was a different voice actor was Natasha, because ScarJo has a very distinct way she speaks.
Yep.
And this one was held the intrigue and the seriousness of Natasha, but there was a tinge of humor and a tinge more empathy in the voice and the character than normally portrayed. So yeah. That was the only one. Everybody else, you could have fooled me.
Yeah. It was so close and it was so good. As far as the plot goes, like we said, this could essentially be an animated film, because in this 30 minutes, they fit so much into the whole story arc of there was always there was this idea. The whole, Avengers Assemble initiative, the Avengers Initiative. And for however long that went in the actual films, putting it all into 30 minutes and then basically, like you said, giving us a murder mystery twist and turn thing, I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. There's still so much more that they could have put in there, too. Because it was such a curveball for the revelation of it being Hank Pym, I would have liked to have seen a lot more either, foreshadowing or just bringing up a little bit about Hope earlier so that it didn't come out of left field.
Yeah.
That's my only critique I have for it as a story, is that it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere.
I see what you're saying, and I somewhat agree. I think it plays into the mystery thing, and I think it's the thing of, Hank Pym is Yellow Jacket. Hank Pym is angry. Why would Hank Pym be after the Avengers? Why would he be trying to stop the formation of the Avengers? Oh, because his daughter was an agent just like his wife was, and they both got killed, and then it turns into a revenge story.
Yeah, and the weird thing though is that
And
the revenge story, he's killing innocent people to get back at Fury.
yeah.
Whereas, like, for me, I know the history of Yellow Jacket. I know that it's a break in Hank Pym's psyche, and he becomes a psychopath.
Yeah.
And, but it's like, if he's afraid of S.H.I.E.L.D., going to send these people out to die, why are you killing them early? Why aren't you, why aren't you doing something that, makes them need to, leave S.H.I.E.L.D. or makes them unable to be an agent but still alive? So it's that little bit of that psychosis that you have to lean on his insanity versus, his actual goal.
Yeah, because, again, the events of what happened in his life of losing his wife and losing his daughter have basically, like you said, turned him insane and turned him into a villain. Whereas if Batman were here and Batman was doing this, Batman would find every non-lethal way to, disarm and dismantle the Avengers or the Justice League, whichever one you prefer.
This is Kevin Conroy, and I am the goddamn Batman.
Unless you're in the Titans world, and that's big spoiler for season 3.
Fuck Batman.
Yeah, that line came back up, but aimed at a different person for season 3.
Oh no, I have not watched Titans. All as I remember is that very first trailer with him saying that.
Yeah, Titans is really, really nice, and I like it a lot. It's kind of like here with the What If, in a way. It is a rebuilding of that hero base, but what if it took place in a darker world where Dick Grayson was not a bright, shining light? Because that's what Robin always has been. It's been a bright, shining light that guides, and makes sure Batman doesn't fall to the darkness.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then this is what really screwed me up, was Loki stays and becomes ruler? How does that happen? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
I was like...
There's something... Again, this movie really needed to be... This movie.
Yeah.
This episode really needed to be a movie and longer, or a 2-parter.
Yeah, because it was like, wait. Like you were saying earlier about how it felt too... Like there wasn't enough of the Hope stuff. There really wasn't enough of the Loki stuff. They came to a deal. They came to an alliance, and all of a sudden... kneel before your God, and I am your ruler now. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about the president? What about this? What about that? What about our freedom? I'm like, wow.
Isn't next week's episode though about Loki?
I want to say it is. I gotta check,
because it makes me wonder if this is if that's an actual going to be a lead in to this episode.
That could be, yeah. What else did or didn't you like about this one?
Hulk go splody. That was just gross.
Yeah, it was.
I'm starting to watch the muscles bulge, and I'm just like, my eyes are wide. I'm like, oh no. No, we do not need the green Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to explode all over the peoples. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish, we got to see how Yellow Jacket did Widow in, but at the same time, she lives her life in the shadows, so to have her die in the shadows also is fitting for her.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Hawkeye in this one because not only is he killed, but he also murders Thor.
I need eyes in the sky. Barton.
Already on it. He's making a move on the hammer. One shot, one kill, sir. Just say the word.
Hold your fire. I want to see this.
Whoa. Coulson wasn't lying about the hair. It's nice. Fury, now or never.
Hold your... Damn it, Bart. I told you to stand down.
I did. It wasn't me. I didn't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how distraught he is at that.
Yep.
And I'm just like, oh my God, why are you damaging my boy?
Yeah, I took screen caps of that and I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, you probably, like, on Wednesday, you were like, this is going to be fun talking to Allison.
Yeah, it is. I'm just waiting for that just inaudible scream of...
Drop your weapon!
I swear I didn't shoot.
Your arrow would indicate otherwise.
This doesn't make any sense. I don't slip. I don't misfire.
What's the word on our intruder?
Dead. And if his blood samples are to be believed, he's almost 1,000 years old and not of this world.
First Stark, now Muscle Beach. That's 2 high-value shield targets killed by our own agents inside 24 hours.
Barton sticking to his story?
He's pretty bent out of shape in there. Won't talk to anyone.
He'll talk to me.
And the funny thing is, I don't know what was going on Wednesday, but I almost forgot. Like, I know that this show comes out on Wednesdays over the next X number of weeks and whatever, and over the previous weeks. I didn't actually watch it until like 9 o'clock Wednesday night. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's What If Wednesday. Wait a minute. I gotta go watch this thing. Holy crap. I can't believe I didn't do it.
Yeah, no, I got the exact opposite. I was sitting in my classroom, getting ready for, I think it was my 6th graders. Yeah, it was my 6th period class to walk in. And the girl who I bond with over comics and such, she comes waltzing in and she's like, have you watched the What If episode yet? And I'm like, child, I've been at school since 7:30. What do you think? She's like, oh, well, I watched it on the bus on the way here. And I'm like, child, if you spoiled But yes. So I have students who are, anxiously waiting for me to watch and talk about these episodes with them, to the point where I may need to wake up now at 5 a.m. on Wednesdays to watch it before school so I don't get spoiled. Oh, my life, man.
Yeah. I don't know if this is official or confirmed. Supposedly it's going to be a Doctor Strange episode for episode 4. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I'm actually trying to find oh, good. Here's Screen Rant. At least the first 5 links I found are like, oh, we're yeah. Screen Rant shows Doctor Strange. So
I know his is going to be him being evil.
Yep. That's supposed to be what this is.
Okay.
So, hey, if this was the Loki episode, as far as, having him there and having him sort of do stuff, it was more background. He was in the foreground, but he was also in the background most of the time here.
Well, and here's the other thing is that we've seen from trailers that eventually all of these are going to lead to a team up stuff.
Yep.
So there could be some of this is going to be explained in a future episode.
It could be.
Because it may be Loki being pulled from this world into there. So
yeah, who knows?
Especially since everybody else is dead.
Yeah, that kind of hurts things, don't you think?
It hurts my heart so much. Plus, it also makes me wonder, like what's going to happen when the Winter Soldier comes out, like, and you don't have all these people there to help Cap. Well, then again, no, Cap only had Natasha, so he'll have Carol Danvers to help him deal with Bucky.
I don't know how people are going to feel about that, whether it's Brie Larson or not doing, because I know it's not Brie Larson doing the voice, but there seems to be, like, I don't know, Captain Marvel was an okay movie. It wasn't like a stellar film, but it was good. I mean, parts of it were anyway. I didn't dislike the whole thing, but at the same time, it's like, it's not a Iron Man or any of the three Captain Americas.
Yeah. Well, if you look back at the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, no, is it Earth's Mightiest Heroes version of Carol, or is it the Avengers Assembles version of Carol? One of those versions of Carol had a very healthy relationship of teasing and camaraderie with Steve Rogers. Where, because they're both captains, they're both military. One's Army and one's Air Force.
Right.
And if anybody ever watches, military football, you could see that there's camaraderie and, very much competition against each other. And I think that could be fun to play with.
So I'm on the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel, and I just searched for What If to see if they had any clips and I'm sure other non-official places probably found a clip, and just Marvel hasn't put it out yet because, hello, it's only Friday. The third episode just came out, so a new clip probably won't hit until Saturday or Sunday when this, when the podcast airs. But yeah, I mean, so far, I know some people are like, oh, this series, I'm not sure. Look, like I've said in the past 2 episodes, I never read the What If comics. I knew of the concept and everything, but the fact that this is tied directly into the Marvel Universe, the fact that it's twisting those stories, and the fact that you have characters that we've grown to love in certain points, throughout the last decade and a half, that's what makes me keep coming back, is because what are they going to do next, kind of thing.
And we'll never know until it airs.
That's right. So, any other final thoughts from you before I head to a break?
Nope, we can break.
All right. We'll be back after these messages.
Do you like retro cartoons? Then Saturday Morning Rewind is the podcast for you. Join them each month as they talk about classic cartoons and interview legendary voice actors like Jim Cummings.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Corey Burton.
Sometimes toys can be so flighty.
Rob Paulson.
Sure, Blaine, but how are we going to find chaps our size?
Nancy Cartwright and many more.
Eat my shorts.
So grab a bowl of Lucky Charms.
They're magically delicious.
Put on your hammer pants. Go to SaturdayMorningRewind.com. And be prepared to feel like a kid again. Once again, that's SaturdayMorningRewind.com. Saturday Morning Rewind was voted Best Podcast Ever by its host, Tim Nidell. So it's gotta be good.
We brought the entire convention center to the brink of an inter-genre geek war.
Okay, Michael, if we're going to tackle this podcast thing, we've got to do something really special. It has to be cool, daily, in audio form, and undetectable by radar. Something that screams summer. I know, let's do a Phineas and Ferb review podcast. We'll call it the Podcast Organization Without a Cool Acronym, or POWCA for short. What do you think?
I think if we're not careful, Candace is going to bust us.
You can find POWCA on the Geekcast Radio Network, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and all of the other methods you find podcasts.
We'll give you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Hi,
Hi, my name is Dr. Andrea Letamendi, clinical psychologist.
And I'm Brian Ward, nerd. And we want to invite you to listen to our new podcast, The Arkham Sessions.
It's a podcast dedicated to the fun
and geeky
analysis of Batman the Animated Series, episode by episode.
We pay tribute to the writers and the stories of the animated series,
while also exploring the very real psychology behind Gotham's rogues.
And maybe even its heroes. All of this and more
each week
on The Arkham Sessions
at UnderTheMaskOnline.com.
Hey gamers, TV's Mr. Neil here. The Gaming Hipster is my personal podcast in which I take you on a journey through my history of gaming, both new and old. Each month is a new topic show in which I bring you my console memories, give reviews of my favorite video games, and talk with cool guests.
People have made cartridges that will actually play Netflix on Nintendo.
I was making sure that I got everything. I was writing it all down.
They fixed that for the third fake prototype.
And that's the first time I remember seeing real animated boobs.
Find the podcast at geekcastradio.com or on Spotify. You can also hear a deluxe version of The Gaming Hipster at ravinghipster.com or patreon.com/Mr. Neil. For $2 a month, you can hear longer versions of the podcast with after-show segments and stuff too raw for the internet. You also get various topic shows, my commentary podcast, The Big Bad Movie Show, commercial-free Geekcast stuff, and more. All at patreon.com/Mr. Neil and ravinghipster.com.
Because the world needs another movie podcast.
The Geekcast Radio Network presents for your listening pleasure The Cinema Geek.
Hosted by Amanda, Kevin, Matt, and Dan.
Each week we dive headfirst in the landscape of movies as we discuss movie news, play movie games,
go in-depth on reviews,
and even have a top 10 countdown or two.
Also, don't miss our director retrospective series, where we review noted directors' movies film by film. Bottom line is, if you love movies and love podcasts, you need to experience the Cinema Geeks.
You can find us on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or geekcastradio.com.
On the Simplistic Reviews podcast, we talk movies. We talk TV. We talk...
Hello, Julie, what the heck are you doing?
Trying to make our spots sound more exciting by adding explosions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have got the point across with sound effects, not the real thing. Car.
Download the show on iTunes or at simplisticreviews.blogspot.com.
I'm sure your insurance company will cover that.
No, they won't.
No, they probably won't.
What was that universal greeting again? Never mind, I remember. Ba weep grana, weep nitty bong.
Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal, and be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Join me as I have Transformers discussions, retrospectives, toy reviews, and more. You can also follow me on Twitter at Rodimus Primal, as well as Facebook and Instagram at Rodimus Primal Show. Transform and roll out, and be sure to check out my content till all are one.
Last big party of the summer, folks. Let's go out with a bang.
Discover a world of vintage and modern toys that's more than meets the eye with the Triple Takeover Toycast.
Hosted by toy writers and photographers Toybox Soapbox, 6O, and TF Square 1, this informal and chilled out series of discussions cover everything from vintage Transformers to Mask, Diaclone, Microman, and more, be it nostalgic or current.
Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual robot enthusiast, all are welcome.
Triple Takeover Toycast.
Alright folks, we are back here on ToonCast, episode 236. And before I close it out, I just want to say one of the reasons why I didn't stick to the format is because some of the questions, so this format that I have, I molded it from we used to do, and we will still do in the future, season episodes where we watch an entire, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the entire first season, take notes, and then have a discussion on a show. So I modified that to fit What If, and it sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't work. And with this one, I don't think it really worked. So we didn't really go by the script this time.
But it was still a great episode.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, the questions of, did the episode keep your interest throughout? Well, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Are you itching to watch the next episode? Of course, we're itching to watch the next episode. Give it to us now.
Yeah. And I kind of like also how each episode has its own little subgenre. Because superhero action film is its own genre within screenwriting.
Right.
But in storytelling, superhero falls into usually fantasy unless it's like sci-fi, because Tony Stark on his own would be sci-fi. But when you add in the Hulk, it becomes fantasy-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, somewhere in there it becomes fantasy. But anyway, so like for Captain Britain, you had your war story. You basically had your eldritch historical fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Then for T'Challa, you had your Afro. You had your.
It's a space adventure in space. I know you're looking for a specific thing, but I'm trying to fill time.
Yeah, there is actually a specific term for this, and it's not giving it to me. But there are some amazing African American science fiction writers.
Mm-hmm.
And so this falls because it's in space, it usually falls into science fiction, but because it also deals with, magic in some ways, it's fantasy. But it has that very, heavy influence on T'Challa and his lessons that he learned in Wakanda as a child. So you have there,
mm-hmm.
and then this one was your thriller murder mystery, So I'm going to be, and we know that there's a zombie episode coming, which is going to be your straight up horror.
Yep.
So and Stephen Strange, obviously, magic is going to be fantasy or magical realism, one or the other. So it's nice to actually see stories set in different genres too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the cool thing about this series is that you can have all of these genres, no matter what they are, no matter how specific they are to whatever it is, you can have everything be something that appeals to everyone. So, all right. As I said, folks, this episode is going to air Saturday, August 28th, 2020.
I have the term.
Okay.
It's Afrofuturism.
There you go.
That's the genre.
Awesome. Very cool.
Sorry I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Hey, you came up with it, It is what it is, and Afrofuturism. That actually sounds really cool.
Yeah, it is. And there's a whole bunch of short story anthologies out with it that I would highly suggest. Also, N.K. Jesman and Octavia Butler are two of the authors that are very well known and have some amazing stories in bookstores right now.
Very cool, very cool. All right, folks, it is August 28th, 2021. I think today is one of my buddy's birthdays. I don't remember. I think it's his birthday, Matt Spada. So happy birthday to you, Matt, even though you don't talk to me much. But Allison is preparing herself, or I don't know how you're going to prepare for it, but you are getting ready to go to Dragon Con 2021.
Yeah, there really is no preparing for Dragon Con. There really is just like packing your essential gear and then just riding the energy, of the convention.
Now, are they doing virtual or are they doing actual in-person convention this year?
They're doing both. In-person convention, they are not doing day passes like they have in the past. You can only get like a 4-day pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to show proof of COVID vaccination or negative COVID test within like 2 days before you show up there. And then you have to wear your mask indoors at all events. And they're trying their best to be able to handle this. And I am hoping or assuming that they are going to find a way to indicate on a person's badge whether they're vaccinated or they've got the negative test, because you have to think that there are breakthrough tests, and then if people like try to sneak in on somebody else's pass, somebody needs to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
Because with Delta scary, guys,
Yeah, it is. a new scary time, and we all need to be really, really careful.
Mm-hmm.
Get the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the rooms are going to be more spaced out, so there's going to be less people in each of the rooms. They're still doing photo ops, but, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what that is going to look like for photo ops, because usually, you know, the actors will interact with you in some way, and seeing whether they're going to feel safe doing that, you know, because it's their safety too. They have to go back and work on shows soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's going to be that. And, you know, things like the parade and the ball and the concerts and all of that, we're going to see a new normal for a while at this convention. And it's going to be weird. A lot of people are going to complain, you know, but I think that they are doing the right decision by letting people come back, as long as they show that they've been responsible to protecting herd immunity, so that by having most people, you know, vaccinated in the building, it protects the few people who just came in with the negative, you know, the negative test,
right? And
it'll keep them protected from getting the illness.
Yeah.
And it keeps the actors, you know, because the actors are going to probably, you know, at autograph lines, I'm sure they're going to keep their masks on, but at photo shoots, they're going to have them off, I'm sure.
Yeah. And here's hoping we don't have to replace Alison in a future What If episode in case she gets arrested for, you know, going after her favorite guy.
I might have I might have a ticket already for a photo op with Tyler. I might have that already sitting on my desk as a daily reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, as soon as it went on sale or whatever, however it works, I'm sure you just like jumped, you know, at the chance to do that.
Yeah, I did. But I will tell you, more than likely, I will actually be a normal person. And, you know, I may even be a bit embarrassed because I know that, you know, freedom of talking through a podcast, you know, sometimes you act a little bit more exuberant than you actually are. And I respect Tyler a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those fangirls who run around jumping on people, kissing them on the mouth kind of deal. I hate those types of fangirls myself. So, you know, I will leave him, you know, as I found him. And, you know, I'm actually just going to be very grateful to be able to just tell him how much I've appreciated his acting over the years. And, you know, that it means a lot to me and that he's an amazing freaking Superman.
Yep.
So
he's actually the shortest Superman.
Yes, he is.
He is 5'10", 190 pounds. I saw somebody on Facebook. We're recording this the night before it airs on Friday, the 27th of August. I saw somebody on Facebook post an image or share an image of, you know, Reeve and Routh and Cavill and Hoechlin.
Really? Yeah.
Obviously, they left Dean out because, you know, Dean is the way he is, and that's really sad, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, he's tiny. He's actually only, I think, an inch taller than I am.
Yeah, he's 5'10", so yep.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are going to get the heck out of here.
I was actually going to say, just also anyone who wants to find me at DragonCon, you're going to want to check out the episode of the Superman and Lois tapes that come out this week, because it will be with Mike Bailey, Bethany, and I will be laying out our schedules and where you can find us. We're available for autographs, for air hugs. If you want to bribe us with coffee, you know, we will take all of that. My order is a peppermint mocha from Starbucks. Thank you.
Yes, go listen to the Superman and Lois tapes, folks. It is an awesome, awesome podcast. FortressofBaileytude.com, I believe, is where everybody can get that. You can find it on Spotify and everywhere else. But yes.
Yeah, it's on Fortress of Baileytude. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on most podcast streamers. There's also a Facebook page where the link will get posted, and if you follow Fortress of Baileytude on Twitter.
Seriously, though, go check out all of the stuff that they do over there.
The episode will be posted there. Or you just follow me on social media, on Twitter at Alison Richards, and I usually will retweet it when the episode comes up. Just as I retweet ToonCast when that episode goes live.
There you go. All right, Toonsters, as always, we want to thank you for joining us here on ToonCast. If you'd like to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show, there are several ways to do so. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can listen to and comment on all of our content. Send any email to feedback@geekcastradio.com. Here are all the ways you can listen to us nowadays. Apple and Google Podcasts. Leave us reviews, please. Spotify and any other podcatching client you choose to use. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow at GCRN ToonCast, at ToonCast Beyond for the show, at Geekcast Radio for the network. I am at TFG1Mike, and Allie is at Alison Richards. Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. You can also search out the ToonCast, All Tunes All the Time, and the Superman and Lois tapes, like we said. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToonCast, and wish you'll join us next time when we will be giving you our thoughts on Season 1, Episode 4 of Marvel Studios' What If? For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Alison Richards.
Thank you for listening. Until next time. Oh yeah, and unleash the Toon in you.
You never cared about hope.
I don't give a damn about any of them.
Toycast is back. We are talking toys once more here on the Geekcast Radio Network's Toy and Action Figure podcast. From breaking into the display case to our toy topic talk and the brand new Origins in Toy collections, where we get guests to tell us their toy story of how they got into toy collecting. Toycast is the only toy podcast you will ever need. Find us on geekcastradio.com and any podcatching client you choose to use. Now go forth, transform and transcend your toy collecting today while listening to Toycast.
Oh boy. Whatever it is, it came with bogies.
They look like they're from Earth?
Maybe Middle Earth? Go get him, boss.
Looking for directions, sir? Because you seem to have lost your way.
You would do best to kneel before a god.
We don't really do that here, no matter who or what you are.
I am Loki, Crown Prince of Asgard, the rightful king of Jotunheim, and god of mischief. Are you going to take that? I'm in the middle of something here.
Damn it, Fury, pick up.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's safer for everyone if I fend for myself.
Hurry, Skeletor, hurry! I am hurrying, I'm hurrying!
The Powers of Grayskull series has covered every episode of all of the Masters of the Universe cartoons except for 2. Join Optimus Solo and TFG1Mike as they tell tales of Eternia, discover the myths of Etheria, become masters in space, evolve into the Masters of Grayskull, and finally reveal the revelation of Masters of the Universe. We'll also be finding out the origins of how guests got into or out of watching the Masters of the Universe cartoons, and so much more. You can find the podcast at geekcastradio.com and any podcatching client you choose to use. By the power and for the honor of Grayskull, we all have the power.
He-Man! Always He-Man!
Beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination.